Welcome. Welcome. In today's session, we're exploring the age-old debate. What's the secret of showing up consistently? Is it quality or quantity? Is it better to focus on high quality content or just to churn out as much content as possible and just see what sticks? In the age of AI, this question's becoming pretty important, I think. And either way, how do we do this consistently, especially when there's so many other things to do, right? We'll talk about overcoming writer's block, working with the ebb and flow of motivation because, oh my God, raise your hand if you ever feel that motivation, that tricky thing. And we will also talk about how to show up consistently, how to stay true to your voice, your brand, shine the spotlight on exactly what you do best. Great. So again, welcome. Whether you're a founder, a leader, or a CEO striving to expand your reach and influence, this session right here, right now, is your ticket to mastering the art of consistency. I'm sharing the secret. And today, because there isn't one answer, one size fits all, today we're going to it's a small group, great minds meet in small groups. And today we're going to find that perfect balance for you, your situation, your story, and your business. Great. So and the reason why I feel I can answer this question for you is because my clients actually don't want to be content creators, right? Most of the information out there about showing up consistently, how to do LinkedIn, how to produce videos, it's for content creators. My clients aren't content creators. They don't want to be content creators, and they have no interest in getting lost in the world of social media. Bottom of their priority list, right? They know that video, especially live video, and here's the trick, is the most efficient way to get your name, your face, your voice, your brand, all of that connected to the people who are wanting to hear from you. That's what they know. That's what my clients know. And that's what I want to tell you about too. Because it's all about getting your name, your voice, your face, your brand, all of that in front of the people who want to hear it to trigger the know, like, and trust response. And that video really takes that to the next level. So let's have some interactivity here. So tell me about you. Tell me about you. Go ahead and drop a comment from 1 to 10, number 1 to 10. How would you rate your consistency? How do you feel about it? Are you a 1, like, oh my God, save me, I'm on a sinking ship? Or is it more like 10? I think I got it. I think I got it pretty well. From 1 to 10, drop in the comments a number. Let me know how you would rate your consistency. How well are you showing up and speaking up consistently? Okay, this can be comments, posts, articles, video, whatever you think. Go ahead and just drop a number in the comments. Now, I've gotten messages from people post-show and other shows that tell me they can't comment during the show. And I get that. If you're not on a desktop or a laptop, if you're on a mobile phone or mobile device, or if you're driving, it can sometimes be tricky. With my phone, sometimes I find I have to shift it back and forth or leave and come back. Go ahead and do that. Maybe you'll be able to comment. Or if all you have are emojis, send me the emojis. I love those too. I love those too. So right now we're talking about consistency, and how would you rate your own consistency? And I'll give you a second to do that. And if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a verbal branding expert, helping my clients to show up and speak up using their own voice as confident leaders. And that can be leaders of people, processes, or ideas, thought leaders, and people who want to expand their influence. And this month, we are totally focused on the theme, is live streaming for you? Is live streaming for you? And today's topic is consistency. If you think this is something that would be useful for others, go ahead and share it in your feed. Give the link to others, invite others to join. If they're joining live, that'd be awesome. We can put their comments. And also for you, please feel free to drop comments right in the comment section. I'll do my best to stay on top of that. And if not, you can do it after the show and I will read all the comments, right? I like to interact. So let's start off with a kickoff question. A kickoff question, like, why are we talking about this? So my question is how to work smarter, not harder, to show up consistently. To show up consistently. I think that's the real question, right? Most of us know consistency, it's a buzzword right now. Being consistent, showing up all the time in social media, on LinkedIn, in other publications, wherever you are, wherever you're speaking, wherever you want your voice to be known, heard, and where you want to be found, it's about being consistent, showing up and speaking up, right? At the same time, we don't want this to be our main occupation. We don't want to be content creators, or at least my clients don't. Maybe you want to be. Maybe you are a content creator. If yes, I'd love to talk to you as well. So, how can we show up working smarter, not harder to accomplish this? And that's the topic for today. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is speaking up. Speaking up, getting your voice out there. And as I mentioned before in the introduction, there's the old question, is it quality or quantity? Should I focus on the quality of what I'm writing and only produce a tiny little amount, or the quantity? And the answer, the quick, simple answer is yes. Yes, both of them. But let's take them one by one. I would say first, welcome to those of you who are just joining now. This is great. And the first thing we're going to talk about in the question of quality versus quantity is quality, right? I suggest focusing on quality first and then increase the quantity. So how do we do that? So the first thing I recommend is considering your verbal brand. What's a verbal brand? Great question. So glad you asked. So a brand, most of us know a brand, and a verbal brand are the words, the tone of voice, how you present yourself verbally, or your business, or your product. That's a verbal brand. And today we're focused more on your voice, your face, your messaging, your leadership skills, your thought leadership, and getting that out there. So why is this important? Why is it important to focus first on a verbal brand? Like, shouldn't I just be taking pictures and pumping out content? Slow down, and I'll tell you why. This is important because this helps fight writer's block. Yeah, staring at the blank screen, watching the cursor like mock you by blinking away. Been there, done that, and I don't like it, and I don't want it for you. With a clear verbal brand, you'll always have a framework and know what to say. Let's do a short little exercise here together. Now, I notice there's not a lot of comments in the comment section, but think about this along with me. Even if you're not able to post it in the comments, you can either post them later or come back and tell me in a private message as you wish. Either way, here's a mental exercise to think about. And perhaps you've heard this before, but usually you want to think of with your verbal brand, with your personal brand, is you want to think about one main pillar, one main thing. You want to be the expert on one thing. And I'll give you some examples for that, just checking a few details there. For example, yoga. If you're like, okay, that's it. I want to give my life and dedicate my life to yoga. I love yoga. I want to do it. And so you want to be the yoga expert, which is different than someone who's a fitness expert, right? So you want to be the yoga expert. And then from there, you can probably think of 10,000, but for now, let's focus on 3 pillars. Maybe you want to talk about yoga position, give tips and tricks for that, train the trainer sessions, or retreat reviews. You want to go to places and give reviews on these retreats. Are they good, they bad? How's the food? Is it a comprehensive session? Whatever it is. And this will set you up to be the yoga expert, right? People who want to know about these things. Maybe you want to do a different pillar for yoga for parents, yoga for seniors, yoga for athletes, whatever it is. So think about that. What is your one main thing? What is your one thing? And then what are the pillars you can talk about? For me, I'm talking about live video. What are my 3 topics? I'm focusing on how to, giving a lot of how to videos. I'm talking about tech, verbal branding, and confidence. Yeah, there are a lot of barriers to entry with live video, especially on LinkedIn, and I'm here to help my clients dive through that at super speed. So, if you are able to leave comments in the comment section, welcome to those who are joining now. I'm so glad you're here. What's your one thing? What do you want to be known for? Right? What is your one thing? And this is especially important when you're looking to network with people. What do you want to be known as? Do you want to be the yoga expert, the Facebook ads girl, whatever it is, right? Professional leadership. Where is your one thing? So that was the first bit about getting quality content. So it's kind of setting your framework, setting your verbal brand so you know what to write about. The second thing to think about for creating quality content is formats. Okay, so here, there's a lot of different things people are doing, a lot of different formats. You can share industry insights, reflect on news releases, share success stories, either from your clients or from others in the field, or your own personal success stories. Share how-to tips, share your personal story, my learning over time, sales. You can have sales videos, sales posts, you can have promotions, encouragement, community building. Okay, there's a lot, right? There is a lot. We're going to get into more detail in a second, but the main thing is to consider what you want to say. What you want to say and in what format you want to say it in. Because setting these choices first sets you up for success, and it helps avoid we already talked about the writer's block monster, right? If I sit down and think I have to post, what should I post? Suddenly there's 10,000 topics I can post about, 10,000 formats, and I get lost in the whirlwind of confusion or analysis paralysis, one of my best friends, right? So we focus on what to say, which gets your quality up and already helps get your consistency up. This is exactly what we want. Ease, 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 so that you can become the yoga for active seniors person, or the leadership training for international women expert, or the personal brand expert for LinkedIn. Whatever it is, setting these decisions up front chases away that writing block monster. All right, good. If you're listening in live or if you're listening on repeat, go ahead and drop your aha moments. What did you hear that you don't want to forget? What were some choice words you heard? Go ahead and drop them in the comments and let me know. And our next topic that I want to jump into right away is content creation quantity. If you're interested in that, stick around. But first, let's talk about and take a moment. This is another mental exercise for you. What stops your scroll, right? What are some of your favorite posts? What catches your eye? Or is it the personal stories, the selfie photos, videos, or the bullet point listicles? Like, what is it that catches your eye? I find this an important question to revisit over time because it helps us take this from a content creator perspective to a content consumer perspective, and lets us get and walk around in the shoes of our consumer so that we can think about our posts, our videos, our contributions from a different perspective, right? Take a new perspective. Carpe diem. Good. So for those of you who are here live, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know, or send me a private message and let me know what catches your eye. The second topic, as I promised, is content creation. Content creation. So we already talked about tips for getting the quality up. Now we want to get quantity, right? And here I want to give a little definition for us, a definition of what is lack of consistency. What is consistency and what is lack of consistency? Lack of consistency is about falling into the trap of irregular activity. Okay, it means inconsistent. It's not regular. It's one time here, trying this, trying that. It's confused. It's irregular. It's a bit zigzaggy. Some people call it experimenting. Yes, but I always recommend taking a bit of a long game approach. You have to, or at least in my experience, I find I have to put in the reps. I have to put in enough sessions to get the data so that I can make data-driven decisions, because that's what we want, right? And inconsistency, what I find time and time again, it's not lack of motivation, it's not laziness. It's about, usually when it comes right down to it, it's about routine. If you read James Clear, Atomic Habits, he talks a ton about this. It's about routine. It's about making it simple to show up. And I even say to speak up, to contribute your voice, your thoughts, and your leadership. So let's make this simple. Let's create a plan. If you're here live, you can go ahead and drop some comments. I'll interact with you, or you can set up a call. We can have a call and discuss this. Let's make this simple and create a plan for you. That's what we're here to do today. And you probably heard a lot about this, creating a content calendar schedule, planning ahead, doing the same thing every Monday, every Tuesday. And that sounds like a lot of work. And yet I come back to what I said earlier about setting those decisions up in advance. Basically, if I can decide once and have it done, I don't have to get lost in analysis paralysis or decision fatigue, right? This is not going to help us. Not today, not tomorrow, not any day. So set it up, plan ahead, decide once. And you might say, but Elizabeth, I don't want to be a content creator. Right. You don't have to. You can decide to do some post in some format, a specific topic, a specific format once a month. The third Wednesday of every month, the first Monday of the month, whatever, once a week, once a day, as you wish, depending on what scale you're looking to accomplish and reach, make it work for you. For example, if I decide that I'm going to make a post about topic A, about yoga retreat reviews, the first Monday of every month, all I have to do is sit down, and you might have heard the term batch create. This is something I really can speak to because it helps me get a flow. When I sit down and write just one piece, it's hard for me to get into the flow, to create that momentum. But once I have one done or two done or three done, it gets a little easier. I have a friend that actually goes to a coffee house every 2 weeks. Will sit with a notebook, a pen and paper, and just create posts, ideas for posts, just to get the flow on. And the benefit here, when you batch create, if I write out 3 posts, for example, and I decide I'm going to do it once a month, boom, 3 pieces of content equals Q2 done. Yes. And I'm consistent. So it's really great. And you might say, here comes the next one. But Elizabeth, I can't schedule polls. I want to do polls and I can't schedule them on LinkedIn. And I say, yes, you can. Okay, so if you can't schedule them via the internal LinkedIn system scheduling, I get that, not a problem. But you can write it in a notebook, in notes, in Google Documents, wherever you want to put the text. And then when you're ready to post it, copy paste it over. There's a lot less creative energy and motivation required for copy paste. Am I right? Right. So you can batch create, get that flow, get that ease of consistency, right? And creation. Now, the other thing you might be saying is, well, I have all these ideas for posts or for an idea, but I don't have the photo yet. I don't have the story. I have to find it. I took that photo 4 years ago. Not a problem. Not a problem. Save it in a document, in a notebook, whatever, wherever makes sense for you, then go back and edit. Because again, it's much easier to copy paste than to start from zero. It's like the gym. You don't have to exercise all the muscles in one day. That's not what it's about. It's about showing up and not burning out, right? Showing up, doing a little bit, and not burning out. So let's take a moment here. And for those of you who are just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Maybe some people will drop some aha moments in the comments, some quotables, anything you heard that you don't want to forget, let me know. And for those of you just joining now, we'll start with the question. Do you have a content plan that you're comfortable with? Give me a rate scale, a number from 1 to 10. Do you have a content plan that you're comfortable with? Let me know in the comments or in a personal message. Okay, one of the biggest complaints I hear, not complaints, one of the biggest questions I get, concerns I get is about time constraints. So let's make it easy. Like showing up consistently, most people aren't like intrinsically against that. They're not like, no, I can't show up consistently. It's against my morals, said no one ever, right? Usually it's about time. So make it easy. As I mentioned before, you can batch create, get that flow, schedule it, save it for later, copy and paste. You know, I know one woman who used this exact approach and she figured out a year's worth of live sessions, 52 live sessions in less than an hour. Boom. Now, were the live sessions done? No, but the creative juices were flowing, the creative ideas, the frameworks, everything she needed to make it easier were done in less than an hour. Could she tweak them later on? Sure, but it's a lot easier to change and adjust something that already exists than starting from scratch every single week. If you agree, drop an emoji, let me know in the comments. Another thing to think about with a 20-minute live video, I created 1 month of content for my clients. 1 month of content. 1 month of content. How do I do that? Simple. And I did a workshop about this last Thursday. We talked about reposting, cross-posting, and repurposing. So reposting is super simple and just genius. There's a little like arrow symbol on LinkedIn. You can just click that and it reposts. Same content, same location, different time. You can do it a week later. You can do it a few hours later. I know someone who does it 45 minutes later to get more reach. You can do it a year later. Reposting works. Cross-posting. Cross-posting is taking the same content, putting it on a different channel. That can be from your personal page to your business page to personal page, to YouTube, to Instagram, vice versa, using different channels. And to repurpose material is to take the same idea and put it in a different format. And that's something I did a lot with a live video. I can pull out the text using an AI tool, and then I have a script that I can tweak and adjust for an article. You can pull out only the audio and have a podcast. I can pull out shorts for short video clips. I can pull out text, pull out quotes and make quote posts. And there was a how-to section. You can make a carousel. There is a lot to do. If you want more details on that, comment workshop either in the comments below or in a personal message to me in the DMs, and I'll give you the link for that as soon as I'm finished here on that show. So, right. Audience question. An audience question I got before the show started from Simriti about how to overcome work guilt after taking a break. I hear that. I hear that loud and clear. I really do. And probably like me, we've all seen those apology posts. Sorry, I haven't been on LinkedIn. I was away for 6 months. I've been busy. This is what I've been working on. These are great. If they work for your brand, if it's what you want to share with others, fantastic. Check, do it. But maybe there's some guilt there. So I am not a fan of guilt. So there's my bias. I am not a fan of guilt. And so I try and slough that off as best I can. I don't want it to touch me. I don't want it near me. I don't like guilt. And so I find that in my life, I have two different kinds of breaks. The first are planned breaks I plan, breaks I know that are coming up. And so with that, I can pre-plan my content in advance so that my content can show up and go on consistently. Everything flows as expected with zero guilt. Yes. The second one, now, of course, I can't have as much of the interactive stuff. I get that for sure, but I can plan other things in its stead. But yeah, that can all be planned out in advance so that I have zero guilt and set expectations before I go on my break. The second type of break that can happen are unplanned breaks. Obviously, you can't plan for them. You can't prepare in advance. I get that. But if I already have built up my muscles and I already have created a workflow where I'm planning in advance, where I'm already in the habit of creating in advance, I can still have that content flow. And why should I feel guilty about that, right? Taking breaks is so important. Self-care is so important. Accidents happen. Life is messy. Life happens, and that's okay. A great example was, I forget if it was last week or the week before, there was a huge cut in my live stream, a serious break in my live stream, completely unplanned, but life is messy. I'm not perfect. And LinkedIn Live or live streaming in general is not about being perfect. It's about showing up prepared, connecting with your audience, and doing your best. Right? So I hope that answers your question for you. So for those of you who are listening, yeah, what are your aha moments? When would you like the link? Go ahead and drop the word workshop, comment with the word workshop, and I'll get that to you. Anything else you heard that you really like, you want to remember, go ahead and drop that there so I know. That would be helpful for me. We have about 2 minutes, and I want to give you something extremely important. Something extremely important because all of this content and content creation is useless without support. So that's my final topic for today, support. What do I mean by support? Engage with your network. If people are leaving comments on something you're putting out, respond, interact, reach out, start a conversation. That's what this is about, right? If you don't have a lot of time, that's absolutely fine and to be expected. You're a busy professional. I get it. They get it. You get it. That's life. Spend 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes a day. Or if that's too much, another thing to remember, how about 30 minutes one day a week? Find something that works for you. I know one person, one mom that I'm friends with, she does her LinkedIn stroking and engagement and comment responding while her daughter's in ballet class. That's her fixed time, uninterrupted time for her to be engaging with her audience in LinkedIn. Also, more support for the content you're putting your effort into. If you're investing the time and effort either by yourself or you're paying someone to do it, experiment with new features. Experiment with polls, live, story, short video, long video, etc. See what works for you. Test it, experiment, have fun with it, explore. And LinkedIn's always coming out with new things. So use that to your advantage. And number 3, this is essential. Track your analytics. Again, this is essential. Track your analytics. This is key. If you want data-driven decisions, this is key. And then later you can look back, reflect, adjust your strategy, and optimize to meet your goals. If your goal is reach, if your goal is more influence, if your goal is more contacts, more phone calls, more sales, the bottom line, more speakers, whatever it is that matches you and your goals. So that's it. It is 2:30. Thank you so much for your time. If you want the link for the 30-minute workshop, repurposing live video, go ahead and drop comment with workshop below. I'll send that over to you. And let me leave you with this challenge. Let's show up, speak up, and be consistent. And next week, I'll be here again Thursday with a survival kit, helping you build a survival kit, your own survival kit for live events. So great to have you here live. And those of you listening on the replay, thanks again. And I'll see you next week. Let's keep this conversation going.